Sup, friend? And Happy New Year to you, or almost New Year, depending on when I post this and when you watch it. But it should be somewhere close to the New Year, and to help ring in the New Year, I guess, to help celebrate, today is all about here we go. Snipping and cutting away any old ties or baggage that you have from last year, so you can start all fresh and new in the new year. Sound good? Fantastic. Alright, so I'm going to put these away for just 1 second. And first, before we get into snipping away all of those old ties we want to get rid of, first, I want to bring out a candle that I have brought out before. Actually, in a couple of my very first videos that I made about a year ago, so it is very appropriate for me to bring this out to celebrate the new year. This is Winter White. And it has notes of frosted cypress and white amber, infused with bright peppercorn, cardamom, and citrus spice to evoke the essence of a crisp winter's day. Look inside. It is this gorgeous gold glass candle holder. One moment, I'll light it. Had a little pop. But you can see the flame shining through here. Smell it. It smells so good. But I wanted to start off with the candle because actually one of my first videos I made was around the new year, and it was sort of the show and tell of winter scented candles. But I combined that with the act of focusing on the candle flames and setting intentions for the new year. Just as having some sort of object to really zero in on and center your mind when thinking about things like that. I know I find candle flames quite hypnotizing and can just watch them forever, it seems like, so hopefully that works for you too. But before we start cutting away all of that baggage from last year, I wanted you to just focus on this gorgeous, warm, glowing candle flame. And focus on all of those things that you do want to get rid of. any sort of fears, regrets, bad relationships. Bad habits, anything at all that you just want to leave in the previous year and leave behind you. Center it all around this flame. And gather it all in there. Let it maybe even melt into the wax. Just sort of throw all of those bad things into this melting pot so they get nice and soft and pliable and easy to snip away. And maybe smell the candle again, because it does smell so good. Those bad things conjured up and thrown into the fire. Wonderful. I'm going to set this right back here. And bring back out our first pair of scissors. I'm going to use a couple different scissors for a couple different purposes, but this is a nice, trusty, basic pair that I think we could start with just for any basic, general, all over negative things that we want to get rid of. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to come in a bit close, just around you. Just around, sort of like a halo around your head, where all of those thoughts and those feelings linger. All right? And I'm going to come in and snip them away. Just like that. So. And again, I mentioned it when we lit the candle, but when we say baggage that you want to leave behind, that can be so many different things. It's really personal to you. That can be a bad friendship, bad relationship of any kind, romantic, familial, work relationship. Maybe it is your work. Maybe it's a bad or toxic job, toxic work environment that you are finally able to get out of. It can be fears. Big ones or little ones. Maybe something, it could be something as simple as, I'm scared of heights, and I want to overcome that this next year. Or it can be bigger, much more serious things. really have a greater impact on your future and your life and your loved ones. I feel like this is probably a cliche, but it just comes to mind, like a fear of commitment in a relationship, something like that. Maybe just fear of starting something new. Maybe you are starting a new job and it's fear of starting that new job. Especially if it's something good. I've been in a situation where, I'm scared of messing up, or I get imposter syndrome, and we need to clear all of that out, because especially if you're going into something good next year, you need to throw away all those doubts, cut them out, every single one, because you were good enough to achieve whatever it is, whether it was a job or something else. There's no reason that you should be doubting yourself or have any kind of imposter syndrome. That was all you. But any baggage, anything that is going to hold you back in this bright new year, this is the perfect time. To get rid of it all. You're looking so much more at ease already. I think we've got a lot of those main big concerns, but don't worry if there's still some artifacts left up there that we gotta get rid of. That's why I have several different scissors today that I think will do the trick in snipping away anything that our basic scissors might be missing. Beautiful. Alright, so next we have these big boy scissors. They are rather large, but I think they're going to really do the trick in hitting all of those really big pieces of baggage that, just normal scissors can't handle on their own. So I'm going to do similar to what I did before. Again, just a much bigger tool when I come in, okay? So, when I said really big pieces of baggage, some of them I mentioned before. I think especially if there are certain relationships that we need, not just want to, but need to leave behind in order to better ourselves. That's an especially not just big thing, but it's a really hard thing to leave behind, especially if it is going to, or leaving it behind is going to create a sense of fear in us. We have doubts about taking an action like that, because even if we're not happy, there's a sense of security we get from being in a situation that is familiar, as opposed to jumping into the unknown, even if the unknown, it may not be good. We don't know what's going to come, but surely the unknown, even if it's not going to make us happy right off the bat, surely it's better than whatever terrible thing we're dealing with in the present, in any poor, toxic relationship or environment. And it also doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing that we need to leave behind. I think that sense of security, of course, comes from things that make us happy and good environments, but I know I'm someone who struggles with this a lot, even if it's just all in my head. But what's safe and secure, we do need to be cognizant of, are we just settling for that as opposed to striving to be the best that we can be? I've dealt with that on a job, career level a whole lot, and thinking, oh, I'm super happy where I am, I'm enjoying myself, I don't dread going to work every day, sort of thing, but also needing to recognize, all right, I've been doing this for a long time, and while I'm enjoying myself and I'm happy, I haven't really progressed in a long time. And I think for some people that's totally fine. If you know yourself well enough to know that is, that you are totally content with that, there's nothing wrong with it. But I know for me, it's something that's caused me struggle. And so I have to find the courage to leave behind, not cut out of my life, but to leave behind in the sense that I move on from something that does make me happy to hopefully something else that makes me happy as well. really hit a lot of those bigger things that were just totally weighing you down. You should be feeling so much lighter. Okay. I'm going to grab the next pair of scissors. Alright, so now we're going from one extreme to the other with these super cute, tiny, and kind of fancy sewing scissors. Is that what they're called? But for like cutting thread. And it's this, appropriately, is going to be for all of those little bitty pieces stuck up in your mind. Maybe some things that you don't even realize that you need to get rid of as you move on into the next year. So I'm just gonna come in, pick that up, and blow it away. Little grudges that you haven't yet let go. Little disputes with friends or coworkers. Something like a bad habit that can range on a very large spectrum. That can definitely fall into the big baggage category. But I think it can also be a much smaller thing. I personally have a very bad habit of twirling my hair. And to the point that sometimes people comment about it because I'm doing it too much. It's one of those little things. It's not really hurting anyone. It's not hurting me, but I would like to get rid of it. You know, just little things like that. You know, they may not be your priority for this upcoming year, but it's good that we don't forget them. We don't let them hang there in our mind, because they're still weighing us down. Like I said, these are little things that we may not even remember are there all the time, but they, one by one, add up. And when there's a lot of them, they still weigh us down so much, keep us from moving forward. So try and think, not too hard. Don't want to stress you out and add more unnecessary baggage by having you come up with issues that are non-issues, I guess. But just try and think, is there anything you're forgetting? anything little that might get lost up there. If there's anything that was lost, we're doing a good job. I think we've got it. Just about all of those bad thoughts, bad habits, fears. All of that baggage that will no longer weigh down. Just give you a couple more snips. That was more than a couple, but I want to be thorough, right? You're looking nice and refreshed for entering the new year. I'm just going to use my hands to sweep away anything that we snipped that maybe still tried to stick on a bit more. I'll get it all out. Beautiful. You're all ready for the new year. You look lovely. Alright. Now remember, we cut away all of those bad things. There's some not so bad, but anything. To repeat the word again, any baggage. So you are all set, and you are totally set up for success and happiness. And I wish you such a happy new year. Good night.